been out in London in so long, I did not realise how expensive it is. My friend has told me, she's asked me to come to an event with her. So that's fine, I'll come, you know. £32 for the ticket. Bearing in mind, obviously that's not transport included and definitely not drinks. I'm not expecting transport or drinks included, but damn.
And before any of you fuckers say it, because I know one of you's going to, I know I live in London. I know it's an expensive city. I know, okay? My rant is this. Why is it every time I go outside, it costs 50 fucking quid?
Now the UK and our allies will begin to impose the sanctions on Russia that we have already prepared.
When Britain imposes sanctions on Russia, they won't know what hit them, because they won't notice. We've been very clear. Vladimir Putin better not mess with Ukraine, or will make his life very difficult indeed. He's already invaded Ukraine. Yes, and that's why I have pledged never again to drink vodka.
For our part today, the UK is announcing the largest and most severe package of economic sanctions that Russia has ever seen.
So the British Prime Minister hitting Russia with a fresh round of sanctions from the UK 3 years after the invasion of Ukraine. So what will they actually mean in practice? Ben Chu from BBC Verify has more.
The UK is in the grip of a cost of living crisis. The amount of people using food banks has increased again last year. The energy price cap runs out this March. The prices in the shops have almost doubled for some people. And there's a real balancing act for families out there to either put food on the table or heat the home.
The United Kingdom says it'll also be imposing those sanctions, saying it'll target Russia's energy exports, its military machine, and the shadow fleet of vessels carrying Russian crude oil, which has already been evading sanctions that were imposed a few years ago.
Walk into a Russian supermarket and you wouldn't expect to see this. Shelves stocked with Western goods more than 3 years into the country's supposed isolation. The most sanctioned economy in the world really doesn't look like it.
Hello my friends. We hear a lot of complaints from the British people about this cost of living crisis. We feel it is a load of nonsense to call it that, as that term was created by the propagandists in the lying mainstream media. What it really should be called is the cost of sanctions crisis. Britain is no longer an imperial power with colonies to support her. And so when the incompetent, morally corrupted, lying Boris Johnson put the UK on the sanctions escalator, the lies came thick and fast about how they would crush the Russian economy. At the EmpireReport we knew that this was a very stupid idea and that it would be the British people that once again will have to pay for these incompetent and brain-dead decisions. And that's exactly how it's turned out. The lying mainstream media will say it's Putin's war that has caused this crisis, or Putin weaponized energy, so costs have gone up. Nothing could be further from the truth.
For our part today, the UK is announcing the largest and most severe package of economic sanctions that Russia has ever seen.
And that is why everything is so expensive in the UK right now. Being the leading country to provoke and extend the conflict, the British people are feeling the pain. They are suffering for the ego of the incompetent neoliberals, as they are the hypocritical defenders of the rules-based order.
So when will the UK government impose on Israel the scale of sanctions it's imposed on Russia?
Life is like a battlefield. Things can get really real. Yes, baby, guide us. Yeah. I stick a butter upon a flower, yeah, you know about that. 7 days of the week, I just chicken back. No milk in the porridge. Once with a uniform, you have hang up behind the free. It's the way you got to live. But it's not the way you choose. Still I'm judging when I'm see you in the streets. I try to take out one pair of shoes. Struggle real. Yahweh, no, I said the struggle real. Yeah, you know just how you feel. The struggle real. Oh, I know I said the struggle real. You know just how you feel. Mama said it is is a hard, hard road, and she carrying a heavy load. Yeah. Most of my she have to walk it, just to juggle back juicing at the market. So it hurts my heart to see the juveniles in the community. Mama struggle hard to find the school fee. Get her left school without CXC. The struggle real, struggle real. Yahweh, no one said the struggle real. Him know just how you feel. The struggle real, struggle real. Yahweh, no one said the struggle real. Him know just how you feel. Now have you ever found yourself in a spot where you suffer, keep a list with your pot? Up on a flower is a pleasure. You know have no time for leisure, cause you have to find a way for full of gap. Now have you ever had to make a decision between your youth school fee and intuition? Them say poverty relative, but you not have no relatives and uncles. I'm not saying you no remittance. You struggle real, struggle real. Yahweh, no one say you struggle real. He know just how you feel. You struggle real, struggle real. Yahweh, no one say you struggle real. He know just how you feel. No matter what you're going through, just know that Yahweh's eyes are on you, and you can get through. Just hold firm, yeah. And if you never made it the first time, try again, and try again, yeah.
Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh, and all these things shall be added unto you.
At the Empire Report, we do not accept there is a cost of living crisis. What we see is a cost of sanctions crisis. When you enter into an economic war with a country that has more resources than any other, and when Europe's prosperity was built on cheap Russian energy, what do you think is going to happen to your economy? The neoliberal moral grandstanding, lies and gaslighting has the British people so confused they can't see the root cause of the problem. The 24-hour propaganda also helps to dumb down the people, and so they go along with it. And complain. And then go out and steal. If the neo-fascist neoliberal regime in London does not change course, things will only get worse. Without addressing the elephant in the room, which we all know is the busted sanctions policy, then the British people will be complaining for a long time to come. This was Emmanuel gotten wrong from the colonial capital, for the Empire Report.
What in the broken Britain cost of living bullshit is this now?
Meaning housing benefit has not been rising with rent.
Isn't it amazing to pay so much money for everything?
Living, selling niche products, Danish furniture, in the cheapest rents you can find.
Why is everything so expensive? Like, this fucking country, it's crazy.